Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another Foxy Games UK news video in what is a very special retro-themed Foxy Games UK news edition. Purely as gameplay background footage, harking back to those 80s, 90s, early 2K arcade specials, the golden era of gaming, some might say. If you like this sort of thing, like, subscribe, hit notification. In our first news story, courtesy of GameRant.com, Xbox is advertising McDonald's on its dashboard, and fans, well, fair to say the fans aren't happy. So fans have noticed McDonald's ads on the Xbox homepage, sparking a wider discussion about advertisements in gaming. Xbox is no stranger to incorporating advertisements into its gaming experience. In 2023, fans took note of an updated Xbox Series X system, which ran Starfield advertisement. Ads like this can be a good way to keep the hype going for upcoming releases, but there are those who just don't like the idea of any commercial ads running in the background or on the dashboard of consoles that they've paid for, particularly if they're paying a monthly subscription service. I mean, I can understand if, let's say, you got the subscription service at a very reduced price, let's say like $4.99 a month, $6.99 a month, but it wasn't ad-free. Fair enough, you can't complain because all of the subscription services, movies, TV, they all do it. But on a game console, I'm not so sure. Back in the day, I believe Xbox 360 used to run Mountain Dew, soda ads or something like that, or Domino's Pizza. So they're no stranger to this. They've been doing it for a while now. So Xbox gamer Soko shared a screenshot of their dashboard expressing disappointment at the McDonald's ad that showed up in the bottom corner of the screen. Soko further states that they don't necessarily mind adverts if they're promoting video games, but entirely unrelated content just feels inappropriate, especially with the obesity problem among teenagers and young adults these days and children. Putting McDonald's on there is probably not the best way to go about things, but some users replied to the original post suggesting that Xbox no longer only represents gaming, and with that comes these types of changes. But Soko maintained it's not an eating box. It's not a fast food system, or is it? Although the company has been placing ads on the dashboard for some time, gamers seem particularly annoyed in this instance. So Xbox fans really not pleased about this whatsoever. Unfortunately, it appears that some players really don't mind these ads showing up on their systems, which is only going to encourage Microsoft. And, at the end of the day, the majority rules, right? So if enough people make a stink, a fuss about this, I'm sure Xbox will find a way to implement it in probably a ad-based, reduced price prescription. I say prescription, like it's the doctor's subscription service. So you can get Game Pass at a reduced rate. But other gamers seem pretty insulted by the fact that they might be forced to deal with random ads on the console they paid for, especially if they're paying for the freshly price hiked Xbox Game Pass. And it won't stop at McDonald's. If, Microsoft are allowed to do this or there's no pushback, it'll be KFC, it'll be all kinds of things. All kinds of things, whatever it takes to bring in money on the dashboard, which really has nothing to do with playing video games. Yeah, you got video gamer food, but that should be left to the discretion of the gamer. It shouldn't be actually force fed onto your screen. So yeah, what do you think about this? Is it okay in your book, or do you feel like you are being insulted that you have to deal with these random ads on a console that you paid for, especially paying for that Xbox Game Pass, multiple tiers? Maybe you got a family Game Pass and young children have access to the system. You don't want them to see McDonald's because you know what it's like. Parent pressure, these kids, they see something, an advert, commercial on TV. Mom, I want that. Dad, I want that. They see McDonald's on the game in between Minecraft sessions, and they just pester their parents for McDonald's purely because it was put in their face. The presence of advertisements on the homepage is interpreted by some as a natural consequence of an age of gaming that is integrated so strongly with the internet, which I find to be a rather lame excuse. Xbox ads like the recent McDonald's one are sparking debate among gamers about advertising in-gaming experiences. Some gamers are okay with the ads promoting video games, but unrelated ads like the McDonald's one are seen as inappropriate by some. The presence of non-game related ads on Xbox dashboards is causing frustration, especially with the recent price hike for Xbox Game Pass. I mean, if we go back to the 90s or 80s, they probably would have advertised cigarette brands or alcohol brands. You know, we're much tighter and stricter about these things these days. But yeah, sound off in the comments, give me your opinion. Moving on to our next news story, this time courtesy of videogamer.com. Developers are reportedly told not to expect Switch 2 to launch before April 2025. So there you go. The first Nintendo Switch launched way back in March 2017. Looks like that's not going to repeat in the month of March in 2025. A lot of people thought that Switch 2 should have turned up in 2024. However, Nintendo seemed to be keeping us waiting because the system is still selling. They've got a new Zelda-themed portable system coming out, portable only version of the Switch, and they've got quite a few stacked releases taking them right into 2025. One of which is Metroid, you know, the Metroid Prime 4 game, which I believe is going to be a cross-platform game with Switch 2. But yeah, there's a lot riding on Nintendo Switch to really hit that, or to surpass the PlayStation 2 all-time figure of 150 plus million units sold. Lifetime, they're about 1.1 million units away as of last week, probably less now, probably 900,000 or something. But yes, Switch's successor is seemingly set to be released during Nintendo's next financial year, and developers have reportedly been briefed not to expect Nintendo's next console to launch before April of next year. That's according to GamesIndustry.biz head Chris Dring, who discussed launch plans for Switch's successor on the publication's latest podcast. Nintendo confirmed in May that it will announce its next console during its current fiscal year, which runs until March 31st, 2025. Here's a quote. "No developer I've spoken to expects it to launch this financial year." He went on to say, in fact, they've been told not to expect it in the current financial year at all. A bunch of people I spoke to hope it's out in April or May time, still early next year, not late next year. Dring went on to say that I don't think any of us want a late launch for Switch 2 because we all want a new Nintendo console. Everyone gets very excited for it, and we don't want that crunch of Grand Theft Auto 6 and Switch and all that kind of stuff on top of each other. Yes, I'm sure Nintendo is one, even though it probably won't affect sales because, you know, they're both big in their own right. But who wants to see Grand Theft Auto 6 and Switch launch even in the same week? I don't think so. Not very smart marketing move. Having launched in March 2017, as I say, Switch is in its 8th year on the market. I've got the OLED wide edition, fantastic, amazing for retro gaming, as you can see just by the content of the gameplay in this video. And I actually was going to play some of the games, but I thought if I spend time playing them, I won't be able to fit in as many as possible. So I wanted like the old arcade when you walked in and you saw insert coin and you saw it just running, you know, in the game actually advertising itself and hoping that you stick a quarter in or a 10-penny piece, showing my age now. In July, it surpassed the Famicom as Nintendo's console with the longest lifespan being before being replaced. Reporting its first quarter earnings this month, Nintendo said Switch had sold 143.42 million units as of June 30th, 2024. It expects to sell a further 13.5 million Switch consoles this financial year, having sold 2.1 million in the first quarter. If Nintendo hits its hardware sales target, Switch will be within touching distance, as I say, of the all-time record for console sales, which is currently held and has been maintained by Sony PlayStation's PlayStation 2. And what a damn fine console that was. People still playing on it, retro heads still enjoying PS2, and why not? So in our final news story, videogamer.com, this is a good one, folks. A very good one. A new PlayStation showcase rumored for September 2024. Leaker states that should hear whispers soon. Yeah, we've heard that soon before, haven't we? PlayStation's had a fairly decent year so far. PS5 has been home to some wonderful experiences like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Stellar Blade, and Helldivers 2, and more games are planned for the rest of 2024. While nothing is official, rumors suggest that there may be a PlayStation showcase in September 2024, and an insider has claimed leakers should hear some whispers about the next PlayStation event soon. Before next month arrives, there's plenty to anticipate throughout August. The release date for Black Myth Wukong, arguably the most anticipated game of the year, is finally just over the horizon. And we also have the release date for Star Wars Outlaws. Not only that, but Madden 25 is coming out and is currently available to play in early access format. And a little bit later on, we've got our friend Astrobot on PlayStation 5 as an exclusive. Now, while August is home to two of the biggest games, Black Myth Wukong and Star Wars Outlaws, there are many more big games planned to come out before the end of the year. Some of the big upcoming releases include PlayStation 5 console exclusives, and we may be getting a PlayStation showcase in September, and it makes absolute sense because we have the much discussed PS5 Pro. And what better time than September to let it all flow? Yeah, I know, corny. I'm not a rapper. So yeah, rumors suggest a PlayStation showcase is happening in September. There are rumors which first began floating around when Sony's State of Play was accurately leaked for May, and very disappointing it was. Now, Lunatic Ignis is an often reliable Chinese insider who accurately leaked the first Descendant before its reveal at Summer Game Fest. But back in May, the insider claimed a Sony showcase would be happening in September. Recently, Detective Seeds posted on social media, I love these names, these online usernames. Detective Seeds posted on social media that they have heard about the PlayStation showcase happening on September 12th. I'm not saying it, Foxy Games UK is not saying September 12th, this is Detective Seeds, what they've heard. So do not come back on me with this, didn't happen on the 12th, malarkey. Anyway, they claim it is the info that they were provided with by two different sources or two different people at PlayStation Studios. But we've heard that before, haven't we? Insider, I've got people in the industry and all types of things, and when it doesn't pan out, these people seem to disappear. You don't hear about them anymore. But the rationale is that it falls 1 week before God of War Ragnarok hits PC, and also before Tokyo Game Show, which Sony, are going to attend. As for who Detective Seeds is, they are not a journalist, blogger, or usual leaker, but they do play games with dudes from some of the studios and do some behind the scenes feedback when it comes to accessibility features. Now, following the above from Detective Seeds, Lunatic Ignis replied, "I suggest everyone not to trust leaks about the supposed PlayStation showcase. Some reliable leakers should hear some whispers about the next PlayStation event as soon as the end of the month." So basically, firing shots there at Detective Seeds. But that's how it goes in this industry. Now, judging by the above response, we could be hearing leaks about PlayStation showcase before the end of August. If it does happen next month, as previously suggested by Lunatic Ignis, these names, man, it wouldn't be too surprising based off Sony's track record. There was a PlayStation showcase back in September 2021, in September for 2022 and 2023, and in addition to this, when leaking the State of Play for May, reliable insider Tom Henderson revealed there will be a PlayStation showcase towards the end of the year. Nothing is official for next month, but there would be obvious games for Sony to show off. These include upcoming PS5 console exclusives, Silent Hill 2 and the Until Dawn remake. Now, in terms of horror games for PS5, as we mentioned, Silent Hill 2 and Until Dawn remake. If you're into Hallows Eve or Halloween, that type of thing, I'm certainly not. But if you are, there are two very good games that are quite fitting for the season. And they both coming to PS5. Silent Hill 2 launches on October 8th, and Until Dawn remake launches shortly before on October 4th. Not bad at all. And then, as I say, you've got Unreal 5 engine games taking advantage of various features. They're both actually using Unreal Engine 5, and if you are a horror fan, these are two exciting PlayStation 5 exclusives that you shouldn't miss. There are other PS5 console exclusives currently in development, such as Wolverine, and there are many exciting third-party games in the pipeline too. Now, before we close off this video and get out of here, Gamescom opening night live promises some juicy game reveals. Host Jeff Keighley has promised. So the opening times are UK 7 PM, that's British Summer Time, Europe 8 PM Central Eastern Time, East Coast US 2 PM, West Coast US 11 AM, Australia 4 AM, and Japan 3 AM. Australia and Japan are on Wednesday, would you believe? So yeah, those are your times, those are your dates. What can you expect? Well, so far, all the confirmed appearances of games at Gamescom opening night, which is live 1 week from today, Black Ops 6, Monster Hunter Wilds, which will be playable for the first time, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Marvel Rivals, Star Wars Outlaws, Metaphor, ReFantasio, Stalker 2, Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, Little Nightmares 3, Sonic X Shadow Generations, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Dune Awakening, Civilization 7, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2, Crimson Desert, Visions of Mana, and more. Yeah, so far so good, right? I'm really looking forward to it. I love the season of game announcements, game reveals, and certainly game promotion. What about you? Sound off in the comments. And that there brings us to the end of this news video. If you like this sort of thing, as I say, hit like, subscribe, hit notification. All the support is greatly appreciated. And until the next video, always remember, play games, not corporations.